Hello wrestling fans, the Wrestling Wizard here and welcome to another video. Now today's video is a pretty detailed one. I'm going to try and break down the best I can where I truly believe this Bray Wyatt storyline is heading and why I believe that this whole storyline is being based off lies. We're also going to look at the future gimmicks that Bray Wyatt could be playing. But before we get into the juicy stuff, as always, be really appreciative if you could like the video, share the video, and even better, subscribe if you're new. And more importantly, get down in the comment section and share your latest theories. So let's get to it. Now, I'm pretty confident that this whole Bray Wyatt storyline has been based off lies, and us, the fans, have been swerved and led to believe that Bray Wyatt is just this servant and he goes where the circle takes him, because after all, he's not in control, right? He's going to be forced to do horrible things, but he's not going to feel bad for them, which already is contradictory. And I think us fans have been played for absolute fools. If you go back several months ago, Uncle Howdy said to Bray, do you think they'll still love you if they knew the truth, if they all knew the truth? The fact that Uncle Howdy is a part of Bray and his psyche, that this physical version of Uncle Howdy is just all a cover-up to cover Bray's lies, that Bray is using his real-life brother Bo Dallas to be perceived to be Uncle Howdy. But the reality is, Uncle Howdy is the ghost of the man who sold the world. He's Bray's darkest thoughts. They will always be there, and deep down, Bray craves wearing that mask once more. He wants to have all that power back because after all, he gets respect from us, the fans. I don't find it a coincidence that on October the 21st on the edition of SmackDown, he said, you told me what I was supposed to do without even having to tell me, and I'm thankful for that. You pulled the spears from out of me and yanked me back up. I definitely think there was some Roman Reigns parallels there. And so I believe at that point, Bray knew what he needed to do, but claimed to be a servant, that he just goes where the circle takes him. Wink. That wink to me confirmed that now he knew all along where the road was going to lead to, but he was going to use Uncle Howdy as a smokescreen. Uncle Howdy's part of him. Uncle Howdy calls him out. I don't find it a coincidence that Uncle Howdy would mention things like, I can see you. You'll never be able to hide from me. You killed the world. You sent him away, the Fiend. And Bray feels guilty for that. He feels guilty for sending the Fiend away. Remember that segment many months ago when he had that interaction with the crew member and he was about to bash his head against the wall, but he didn't, he resisted. There were these Uncle Howdy flash-ups and Uncle Howdy said, it's all your fault. He's blaming Bray, the better side that's trying to resist the truth. And Bray knew that all along, and Bray just couldn't hold it back anymore and thought, sod it, I'm going to embrace the darkness. And over time, we've seen this transition from Bray. He started off a headbutt with LA Knight, and then we saw attacks on LA Knight. We saw him assault a cameraman with the mandible claw. And then at the Royal Rumble, we saw Bray Wyatt in a mask, literally delivering the mandible claw, the Fiend's finishing maneuver. Very Fiend-esque mannerisms. So you see how this is progressing. It started out through October the 14th, Bray coming back and cutting this real life promo that he wants to be Bray Wyatt, the real him, it's the best version there'll ever be of him, to now he's in a mask. Now yes, it's not the Fiend, but it's one step closer to the Fiend, isn't it? And recently, the cracks are starting to appear and we're starting to see things a little bit clearer. The fact he's now come out and said, I'm the Eater of Worlds, I'm Uncle Howdy, I am him. When he claimed several weeks ago not to be Uncle Howdy, he wasn't the one that attacked LA Knight, felt guilty for lying at that point, so then attacked the cameraman. If we're looking at things through a clear lens here now, and looking at Bray as a liar, things are much clearer. And we've seen several promos calling out Bray as a liar. We've got a QR code that exposed Bray as a liar via Uncle Howdy. The world is built on lies. Everybody lies. He lies. He'll make fools of us all if you let him. Well, we are letting him make fools of us because most of us have believed that Uncle Howdy is Bo Dallas. And he's Uncle Howdy all along. But if Bray's using Bo to play Uncle Howdy to make it look like he's just following Uncle Howdy to do bad things because he's a servant. But deep down, he is the puppet master. He is the one in control. He is the ghost in the machine. And when you're the machine, you feel no pain. You're the one in control. Also, if you pay attention to the ghost version of Uncle Howdy and his teeth, you can see the silver grills, the same ones that Bray Wyatt wears sometimes when he cuts promos in the ring. Bray Wyatt has contradicted himself so many times throughout this whole storyline. And remember the Ryan Satin interview? Everybody wants to talk about it, right? The fact that he said the Fiend is dead. Well, he could be lying. It was a kayfabe interview. And think about it also, the fact that he claimed not to rewatch his work. Yet the following week, we see Bray Wyatt and Uncle Howdy. Before the Uncle Howdy jump scare, Bray's clearly rewatching the Royal Rumble. So already that's a lie we know he's told. Claims not to be Uncle Howdy, but now he claims to be Uncle Howdy. There's so much like split personality here, like contrast between what is right and wrong. And why would Uncle Howdy suddenly just target Alexa Bliss in sync with Crown Jewel when I believe that was the switch for Bray Wyatt at Crown Jewel? When Uncle Howdy popped up on the screen and said, hurt them. Why would he be targeting Alexa Bliss from any other reason than this being linked to the Fiend somehow? And what if this was things coming full circle all along? He's tried to swerve us. He's even referenced directly in a promo the Fiend. You want the Fiend, right? You want to see the human tornado, the show. Like, he knows deep down that us, the fans, called for the Fiend. Because after all, he knew what he was supposed to do. Because we told him what he needed to do. Yet along the way, he's deceived us. He's tried to trick us. He's tried to look like the innocent guy that's just following Uncle Howdy. But deep down, what if he was under way more control than he let on? The lyrics are so telling. Lie for me, brother. Use me for cover. I am the ghost in the machine. If we look at I am the ghost in the machine, is Uncle Howdy the ghost in the machine, i.e. part of Bray's psyche? He's controlling all of this. A lot of this centerpiece is around Uncle Howdy. Lie for me, brother. Use me for cover. Use Bo Dallas, your brother, to lie for you, to cover for you, to play Uncle Howdy for you, to make it look like you're just the servant. It's starting to add up a little bit here, isn't it? And I love this because it's so in-depth. And I know people look at this quite literally and go, no, the Fiend is dead, he's never coming back because after all, Bray Wyatt said so. Do all roads lead to the Fiend? Have we seen, as Bray basically told us, that you're going to get the three faces? The Eater of Worlds, which we've pretty much seen that version of him, more often than not. Uncle Howdy, which can take on various forms. I mean, after all, if you're lying about being Uncle Howdy and what that implies to be, Uncle Howdy can literally be anything, couldn't he? Uncle Howdy could be connected to what we saw at the Royal Rumble and that character in the mask. We still don't know for sure, for 100% certainty, who attacked LA Knight with those masks. We don't. I am him. Very, very grey area there. I believe that's the Fiend, and I believe all roads lead to the Fiend's return. I truly do. Go all the way back to the White Rabbit trails, you know, all the way back before Bray Wyatt's return. Red lighting was used several occasions, and we've not really seen that as much recently. We've seen more blue lighting used in Bray Wyatt promos. Sometimes we've seen split lighting between red and blue, but most of the time it's been blue. Blue's come out of the door that Bray gets revealed from his entrance. So what if some red starts to come out of there, and what if we start to see the Fiend? Why is the Firefly Funhouse back? I find that fishy. Why are they leaking QR codes with the Fiend's face in it? Like, I just think this is all setting up in time with WrestleMania with the Fiend. And after all, if Bray Wyatt's taking on someone like Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania, you're going to want to be the strongest version of yourself. This is a former WWE champion. And so, is that a time to bring back the Fiend? I'm wondering how this links in with Alexa Bliss. Of course, we haven't seen Alexa Bliss for a few weeks, so I'm interested to see how that plays out. And one thing I really like about all this moving forward is it looks like Bray is trying to play multiple versions of various gimmicks from the past, the present and the future. The Eater of Worlds, Uncle Howdy, the more current stuff, and potentially the return of the Fiend. So you please fans of various versions of Bray's gimmick. But overall, I think this storyline is making more sense now. I certainly feel the cracks are starting to appear Certainly a lot of Bray's lies are starting to get exposed a little bit more here, and it makes sense if he's battling a psychological issue. Total sense. Thank you so much for watching the video. As always, be really appreciative if you could like the video, share the video, and even better, subscribe if you're new. We'll catch you in the next one where we get the Firefly Funhouse this Friday, so buzz in for that.